Head coach of men's soccer for Lehman Athletics here on the South Field with Coach Gojcevic. Coach, thanks for your time. Now, a lot has happened over the last year, over the last 8 months. It's not just Coach Gojcevic, it's head coach CUNYAC Coach of the Year, Coach Gojcevic. It is CUNYAC champ, Coach Gojcevic. But now that you look back and reflect on the time you've had from last year, what has the last 8 months been like for you?
Well, it's been nice actually. Wherever you go, usually people say, "Hey, you're the coach from Lehman, right?" So we got a lot of notoriety, and it's a nice feeling. Once we started with the captain's practice, that hey, you're the champ, So the pressure starts to come on, and as a head coach, you always try to remember the things that worked last year, and you try to improve on that, making sure that all the student athletes are properly prepared and ready to go, mentally as well as physically. So it's been a challenge, but it's a new year. It's great to be here, and I enjoy every moment, honestly.
Yeah, you said beginning of practices, when you start getting the team together, it starts to build up. You feel the hype. Now, also for your team, this is a team that is the champion. Do you prepare any harder knowing that you have that target on your back?
It's not that you prepare harder. You go through last year of what we went through to get to where we were and what we did. And like I said earlier, like what works. So now you put a couple of wrinkles in. So not necessarily you prepare harder, maybe you prepare a little bit smarter. The key to winning and the key to having a good team is obviously preparation. So you try to make sure that they're properly prepared,
And for your team also, second in the preseason CUNYAC poll. Was that fair for you? Do you think that's fair? What's your reaction to that, knowing that you're second behind CSI by 10 points, 72-62? What's your reaction to that?
Honestly, I wish they would have picked me like 7th or 8th. Of course it's fair, being picked 2, obviously, again, it's preseason poll, right? So what does that mean? That means that you get respect, which is great. But honestly, you know what? We will know Friday night. We open up here against Sarah Lawrence. I expect my team to be ready and be playing well.
Do you think that has anything to do with losing former players from last year's championship team? The fact that you're second in the preseason poll, being that you're defending champion? Or that CSI made those strides? What do you think?
I don't think so. Honestly, I think the preseason polls is what the coaches feel that, this is the team that, that we feel is second or 7th or 1st or 5th or so. I don't think you take too much into that.
There's nothing you really take away from that, right?
No.
Okay. Now you have your 4 players, your core 4, you call them, and returning players. You have a Sosa Aluya, you have Ben, Michael Generoso.
Mamadou Tala.
Yeah, Mamadou Tala. Do you find there to be more of a load on their shoulders this year? Or do you want them to just be more of leaders and understand that they have the experience from last year, drag it onto this year?
No, once again, I don't want to put the burden on them, and I think they honestly understand where they are. They also understand who they are, and the great thing about this team right now is that the experience is there, so they know what we're striving for, and it's been preached from day one. Last year the goal was to get to the final, and whatever happens in the final. So we did that and we won, which was great. Now again, I'm hitting it home every day in practice. The goal is to win the championship and get that first NCAA game. That's the goal.
You mentioned the NCAA game. How realistic is that this year for your team?
It all depends on how well we start, but more importantly, how do we finish toward the end? Toward the end of the season and in the playoffs. Injuries come to play. So, some people may not be playing hurt or tired. So it all, this is why you need 24 guys on a team.
Yeah, also for you, you lost a key player from last year. He was the tournament MVP in Irvin Barreto. It's a new squad. I know it's hard to replace a guy like that, but how do you move on from him and how do you try to replace him?
Well, we as a club, we did a nice job, meaning, the Lehman soccer team, myself and assistant coaches, we did a nice job in recruiting. So we got a couple of kids that are really going to help us. A couple of them are freshmen. We got a couple of transfers that are going to help. So the depth of the team is a little bit better. Honestly, it's hard to replace Irving. A kid with experience, came from BCC, winning the MVP there, coming here and winning the MVP and taking us to the NCAA tournament. So it's very difficult to replace him. We have 3 keepers. We believe that our keepers are going to be good enough. They're not going to be Irving Barreto, so we have to be stronger in front of them. Our defense is going to be just as good. Our midfielders are going to be just as good. We've added a couple of players to help Sosa. So in reality, in my opinion, as of right now, we are stronger than last year. What does that mean? You know, you got this chemistry thing. Are they going to gel? So this is what coach worries about.
Yeah. You also mentioned Irving Barreto's a guy. 6 shutouts from last year. You have new players on this team. What are some players that you expect to have a breakout year, or not can contribute more than what you expected from day one?
Well, I expect, again, like you say, the core 4. I expect them to do well. We got Emilio. We call him Frenchie. He played last year, so he's hungry. So he should be able to do well. The kid that's really gonna help is Sal. He's gonna help in the scoring department. Then I have this kid Sekou, who's a little bit older, has experience. He's gonna come into the midfield, and I think with the youth, we have 8 freshmen. With the youth and the experience,
It's a good mix.
It's a good mix, and I think we're gonna do well. But again, that word, hey, you're the champ. Honestly, it's been like a burden. Because I try to say, look, that was last year. This is a new season. We have to embrace now. Last year was last year. It's great to be called the champion, but you have to get started now, and that's where we are right now.
Now, for you last year, I know you mentioned the main key was always about the chemistry of this team last year, the way they gel off the court, off the field, on the field. How do you see that chemistry being affected this year at all? Do you see it even stronger? You still have the main guys coming back.
It's hard because it's still early. I mean, we're open up Friday. I see some of the stuff. I like some of the stuff. We played WCC on Saturday, and I saw a lot of good things. A lot of good things talking about chemistry. I saw that. So I think it's just going to grow. You don't replace Irving and Rooney. It's hard to replace those guys. But I think Bassi will come in. He's going to be one of the captains this year. I think he's doing a great job. So I look forward for him to really taking that leadership role of Irving and Ramon Rowe. So
it's looking like it's going to be a good year for Lehman, Coach of the Year, repeating champions, man. Let's go get him.
Thank you.